Welcome to the MadTrio podcast. This week we have the California Pariah, Jonathan Charney, James, the Fat Man Stevens.
Hello.
Rob, the old guy.
You're listening to the Rob Charney Show.
And looky who we have. It's a special guest. Hopefully to be a recurring character, Ryan Preston.
Sunday. I'm sorry. Someday, yeah.
Someday.
So we're gonna start out with
it's Thursday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start out with sad news and hopefully go into happy news. One of my favorite mobster actors died. Ray Liotta of Goodfellas, Field of Dreams star dies at 67 years old, right out of the blue.
That one kind of came out of nowhere.
I was actually really bummed when I heard this. I'm like, really? Like Bill Cosby couldn't croak? Bill Gates? No, had to be Ray Liotta, who, out of everything I've ever heard, was a nice guy, unlike Bill Gates and Bill Cosby.
I mean,
Can you pronounce
his whole
it
life he
properly
just
for that?
always wanted to be a gangster, man.
How do you say it?
Leota.
Leo.
Okay. No. At what point in the last decade we've been doing this, do you know me that I'm going to be able to say something correct? Matter of
Well, I
fact,
just laughed and moved on.
I still remember the last time I said something correct because Ryan was like, holy shit, say that again.
Yeah. Right. I think I call more attention to those than I do the mispronunciations.
It was Christoph Waltz, by the way, if you're wondering. That was the one that you're like, what the fuck?
Half the fun, man. Half the fun.
He died in his sleep in the Dominican Republic, shooting an upcoming film, Dangerous Waters, playing a real-life mobster, Henry Hill Liotta, shot to stardom in Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas.
Good job, John.
The Dominican Republic murdered Ray Liotta.
Oh, no. Let's not start that rumor.
What do they got to do? Storm the gates?
Oh, it's unfortunate.
Aren't they already kind of doing that?
I don't know. Maybe he missed one of the shots you're supposed to take before you go or something.
And kind of a shock, Bill Gates is pouring millions of dollars into dark money fund attacking Elon Musk, reports shows from newspageindex.com. I've read this on multiple things, but this is the first one that showed up.
Wait, Bill Gates is
Bill
having a
scared
feud with Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Another billionaire is scared because Elon took over his title as, world's richest man. So is that what he's upset about?
Yeah, Bill Gates has gotten his knickers in a twist over Elon Musk for some reason. Part of it, I think one of the reasons it first started is Bill Gates was shorting Musk's Tesla, which was, let's be honest, that was the company that restarted everybody wanting electric vehicles. So I think Musk got a little pissed at that. Gates, who is also an outspoken advocate of increased censorship online, engaged in a public feud with Musk. Gates reviewed that he has 500 million short positions against Tesla. Gates hypocritically claims to care about the environment while publicly opposing Tesla. I think that's kind of a bullshit charge. You can hate Tesla and still be pro-green. So yeah, pretty much the two billionaires having a slap fight.
So that was a long yes to my question.
Yes. However, I like Musk a lot more than I do Bill Gates at this point. At least Musk seems to be trying to do different things.
So
Bill Gates
the claim is he's trying to back out of the Twitter purchase now.
Yeah, I heard that. But I think he's already hard-lined into that, and he's going to get really screwed if he doesn't do it.
What I read an article a couple of days ago talking about the Musk wanted to know like information regarding bots and a few other things, and Twitter said no. Up until a couple of days ago, Twitter said, you want the fire hose? Here you go, and basically gave Musk the unlimited data plan to Twitter. But I don't know, if Musk thinks Twitter is some sort of bastion of free speech instead of hate speech, he should have just buy it anyways, even though he's paying $44 billion.
According to New York Post, Musk recently accused Gates of not being serious about fighting climate change because he made a $500 million bet against Tesla. Gates argued he had put more money towards climate change than Musk or anyone else, so it's like these guys are arguing over who's better at saving the world.
Okay.
Give a lot more to climate change than Elon or anyone else, quote, Gates said. I give a lot of philanthropic dollars. I back companies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, look, it's if this is the kind of arguments they're having, cool. You know, I wish more people were arguing about who was the better person.
So, who was the the bad guys in the James Bond movie? Spectre, yeah, because that's who that's who Bill Gates kind of reminds me of, because he's also telling people we need to stop having children, we need to be doing this, you know. Bill Gates seems to me be the plotting bad guy, you know, rubbing his fingers together.
No, I'm going to take it a step farther than Bill Gates. Here's my don't let Ryan rule the world plan. Stop modern medicine. Hear me out. That's when it all basically changed. A lot of people mix up the, you know, they'll think of evolution in terms of like survival of the fittest. That's not what it is. It's literally surviving long enough that you procreate and pass along your genes. It's almost as simple as that, as a base explanation. Modern medicine changed the game when it came to who was passing on their genes. It used to be you were dumb enough to kill yourself before you had kids, and now you can do something incredibly dumb that would have killed you some hundreds of years back, but modern medicine, some really smart guy saved your life, and then you have 8 kids.
Huh. So you just want stupid people to stop procreating?
Well, no, I want stupid people to do what they're going to do, and either, I mean, it's a sink or swim kind of model. You know what I mean? Like either be relatively smart enough to make it through to your procreation age, or, I mean, you should have been a main character, bro.
So if we're going to do this, are we going to go back in time where girls are married off at 13, which, you know?
Now we're trying to just, you know,
no, I mean, I wasn't
Darwinism, and you know, if you do something stupid, you die. It ends the gene pool. You don't spread that on.
Right.
So that's the problem. We keep spreading on the dumb gene pool.
See, we're already doing that. We're an affluent society. We're not having kids. Well, at least not white America are not having kids.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Well, you know, look.
That's statistics.
No.
By the way, that's actually statistics.
Are you not counting Utah? Because those Mormons have like 30 kids each.
And the Duggars. Don't forget about Duggars and ATI.
And the Catholics,
not enough of them to make it.
The Irish,
John.
What's that?
The Irish Catholics have been really falling off their game.
Yeah, they're not doing a good job.
Those bastards used to have 47 kids apiece.
The Hispanic Catholics are trying to make up for it.
See, what you're really saying is we need to restart.
So that went over well.
So no, what you're restating is we need to restart the Protestant Catholic War.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. What I'm simply stating is just like, you know, maybe let's take our time when it comes to treating, like, you know, the Hold My Beer accidents. You know, like, oh yeah,
now we have a tier level.
But I got to take a shit
How
first.
stupid was? Oh yeah, how stupid was this accident? That'll determine on where you are in the tier level of getting treatment. You know. So
basically,
and it begs the question, you know, who is going to be the one who decides who is stupid enough? And I've got free time.
So basically, this is going to be like the college boys. Like, there's going to be less men because a lot of guys in college do really stupid shit.
Well,
right. But just like a stag will, you know, have a harem of women and a lot of things to pass along those stag ass fucking genes. You know, the guys that survive are the ones who are fit enough to, you know, get a handful of women pregnant.
I know a number of feminists right now are really pissed off at you at that statement.
I know. I think I just took that one too far. Let me backpedal to my original statement and not go caveman style, you know, marriage proposals anymore. The History of the World Part 1. Dink.
I need a rewind sound effect.
Yeah, it's anybody that's appeared in Jackass movies don't get treatment either.
No, because that's entertainment. If you film it, it's a different story.
I don't know about that, but okay. So if you film it's all entertainment.
Funny when the guy dies.
All right, I wanted to see where that level went. So as long as you film it. then you may be good.
Yeah, to be fair, I did say don't let me do this. You know, it's a horrible idea for everybody.
Well,
else.
you know, that line in alcohol, that'll get you somewhere. Don't let me do this, and
Yeah,
let's
I would
have
have made
another
a shitty
shot.
Caesar. You know,
I highly doubt there's people lined up to make Ryan Emperor of the World.
yeah, no, it's a. You've got a lot of other problems if that's the case.
Well, he does have the facial hair for it.
Yeah, it's a definitely a sinister mustache.
Looks
Well,
more
he's
like
got the-
Yosemite Sam.
He's the better looking Johnny Depp.
That's
So
pushing it.
Ryan, did you find out a way to buy that Henry Mare's leg?
Oh man, aside from illegal options, no. But oh man, that actually, honestly, I didn't even look up the price of it. You know what those things are
It's
running?
about 12 to 14.
Is it? That's a shotgun,
Anyway.
right? Or is it the rifle?
the Henry.
The rifle.
Henry
Yeah,
repeating.
they have them chambered in all kinds. I want the 44 mag because it's a rifle. You know what I mean? Who cares?
In the state of
It's a pistol
California,
cap.
you should be able to do it if you can get an AR pistol. The shotgun, however, it was
No,
definitely
he-
a no-no.
He'll be fine. There's numerous Henry rifles available in California.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Henry's
so the
are-
reason why I brought that up is the engagement was still on then.
Oh yeah. No, I told
Well,
I told
I have
James
bad
that I
news
would
for
leave
you.
Amber to get one of those guns.
I do have bad
Not really
news
sweet.
for you, though.
Oh, there he
Elvis
goes.
will
He's
not be
backing
wearing
up.
It's
What's
not
that?
going to be an engage. It's not going to be a wedding gift. Sorry, it's not going to happen.
You are no longer allowed to be married by Elvis.
Yeah, no, I heard. Yeah.
Oh, how about
Yeah.
that?
The
Doggone it,
authentic
without paying
brand
royalties. I think
Yeah,
if you
the
pay
authentic-
royalties to the Elvis Presley family, you can do it.
No. It's not even about that. The Authentic Brands Group sent a cease and desist orders to Vegas chapels ordering
Really?
to cut the use of Elvis branding in their chapels. All are expected to be
That's what he
compliant.
was.
Yes.
Wow.
And
After all of this time.
yeah.
It always comes down to
Yep.
money. I guarantee
And
it.
his family stepped up and said, "We are not involved in this." So
Yeah, well,
all Elvis weddings are shut down.
Wow. I mean, does that include like Elvis impersonators
Yep.
and things like that, and just in general?
No, I
Yeah.
think they can still do the impersonations on stage, but it sounds like all the wedding chapels are being shut down.
Well, all they have to do now is shut down all the hookers in Las Vegas, and then they're going to close the town.
Yeah,
But I mean, look, are a lot of kids really clamoring for the Elvis wedding?
why not?
You know what they're saying?
I mean, it's just I don't think it's a thing that was really in real high demand anymore. It was more of a novelty kind of a thing. But how many kids would have to look up who Elvis was if they're like, "Hey, you want to get married by Elvis?" Wait, hold on a second.
I was going to say that they're doing the
Elvis
research.
Costello, Elvis. Yeah, which
Yeah.
Elvis?
Yeah, that kind of surprised me that came up all of a sudden. It's like, it just kind of seems like it was out of nowhere that came up.
Seemed like a non-issue. Like, maybe a trademark company is trying to sell some Elvis stuff, but it's like, man, who cares?
So I got a bit of a rant.
Here we go.
So,
Excellent.
Rob, are you an Apple or Android?
What?
He's Apple.
Apple or
Do
Apple.
you use Apple or Android?
Apple.
I know John uses Apple. Are you Android? You're still Android, right, Ryan?
No, Apple. Although I'm very much a fan of like Windows and Microsoft's
Okay.
operating
So,
systems.
Amazon for the Kindle, and I think it's the whatever their music one is. What is it?
Amazon Music?
Yeah, the music app are no longer letting you do in-app purchases for Google.
Really? Why?
Google put up this new thing where they were trying to get royalties out of purchases through the Amazon app. And Amazon said no and shut down all purchase abilities in Kindle and their music app.
Wow.
So Audible Audible and Kindle are no longer allowing you to make in-app purchases on there. So you have to. So the workaround is you can buy it in the Google store and get it credited to there, or you can go to the website, the Amazon website, put it in your account, and then download it.
Yeah, I know why
would
it's
they
not
do that?
common. It's not common in Apple because Apple, I think, you owe 30% of all charges that go through their ecosystem.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's involving their digital goods and services and the Google Play. And yeah, so they just said, nope, we're not doing that anymore. We're just going to shut it all down. And which really kind of annoyed me because I was in the middle. I was finishing up a book, and then I was going to get the next book in the series, and I couldn't do it through the app. So I had to click on the link and then go to the website, log into my account, purchase it, and then download it.
Oh, how that's lame.
That's ridiculous. Well, it's it's easy enough.
It's almost.
I know with Apple Books. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Again, it's what do I always say? Follow the money, follow the trend. It's always a money issue for whatever reason. But one of the reasons through Apple Books, I buy Apple Books. It's just easy to click on. It's gone. I get the next book. I click on that. I can't imagine why they're doing this. How is that not going to affect their sales when people just get pissed off enough about saying, "Hey, I don't want to make 5 clicks to try to get one book when I could have done it before with one click."
Yeah.
Because people are going to get used to it. They won't.
nuts.
They won't complain. It'll take a little bit, and then once they get used to it, they'll go away. It happens with Apple. I just recently learned, I just recently learned with Audible that if you have an Audible credit, you can buy it through the app, but you cannot buy a book through their app because you already have that credit billed in their system.
Okay, well, I guess we do what we have to do, don't we? If that's the way it's going to be.
Unfortunately.
I mean, just like
So be it.
we've always done with the internet, like, oh, okay, well, I guess we'll figure a way around this.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm like, okay, you're going to be a pain in the ass. I'll just figure a way to get around it.
Yeah,
So a man tried to deface one of the overrated masterpieces of history. So set the place to the
we're
Louvre
talking
Museum in
about
Paris.
they were trying to feed, Mona Lisa some cake. He got the wrong woman. It's supposed to be Marie Antoinette, not Mona Lisa.
Is that what you were
Oh,
saying?
man, there was
Cake?
The man shouted at the crowd to think of planet Earth. When he hurled the dessert, it was laced in cream, so the smear was apparent. He also threw roses in the gallery.
Was he on drugs?
So if you've ever seen the Mona
there was
Lisa, I haven't seen the Mona Lisa in person. Being right there, it's behind like 20 panes of glass. It's also not much bigger than a postage stamp. It's really small when you see it in real life.
Like an 8, it's like 8 by 10 maybe.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean it is small.
You know,
and
there
it's
was
like,
some
okay,
docent walking around the museum giving a tour, walking by it and sees it happen and just screams, and that's why we have it behind glass.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
So one of
I
my
learned that the hard way with a couple of Da Vinci's things.
Yeah, he got
Well,
he got
the
taken
nice
down
thing
pretty
is
quick.
that statues can be washed off.
Yeah.
So there was a guy recently on Wednesday that was released from serving a life sentence early and then arrested the next day. In Sacramento County, nonetheless.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
so
that.
there was a guy,
I was
28.
oops.
Yeah,
Oops,
he
I guess.
was. So what happened was he was being transported from the Sacramento County Jail to the state prison for a court hearing for the EDD fraud from COVID. You know, when there was a bunch of inmates that applied for the EDD unemployment.
Oh,
So he was being
Him and the Red
transported
Ranger.
for that. And so when they looked at it, they were like, oh, wait, you're eligible for release because you're only here for the EDD unemployment fraud. Instead of looking at his history and realizing that he's serving life sentence for carjacking, second-degree robbery with gang enhancement, being armed with a gun, and vehicle theft. Well, they released him in Stockton, and then they went and got him back the next day.
I'm kind of surprised they found him again in Stockton. You think it would have just disappeared?
So there's a very surprising release that is not an accident.
Charles Manson?
Which
A member of his family.
He was released from his corporeal form.
I was wondering when you guys were going to catch on.
John Hinckley Jr.
Really?
For those of you who are unaware, is the man who tried to assassinate President Ronald Reagan. Is being released in 6 days.
Really?
Yet the guy who killed John Lennon is still in jail.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, okay, pled out insanity at the time, been pretty much institutionalized since then. Isn't it one of those just on principle? We put your cell under the jail kind of a thing. Like you tried to assassinate an American president, like insane or not, like, and of course, everybody, advocates and parole boards and all these different people. He's no longer a threat to society, yada yada yada. Still kind of surprising.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
So is it what's the reason for the release? Is he dying, or just because they can? Or
No.
Why?
I think his, I don't know what kind of happens with parole, because I legit think he's been basically in like a mental hospital since.
Actually, 2016, he was released from the mental hospital.
Yeah, not guilty on all counts by reason of insanity, penalty institutionalization. Treatment, St. Elizabeth, confined to St. Elizabeth's in D.C.
I don't know. Somehow I just think that if you're
unpredictably dangerous.
I don't really. My opinion is I don't care if he's mentally ill or whatever it may be. He made an attempt, and that throws away the key, as far as I'm concerned. But
that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't know if it's just on principle or one of those things. Like I'm all for the idea of rehabilitation, and that the criminal justice system definitely needs some looking into as far as recidivism rates and things like that. But dude, you would try to assassinate a president, crazy or not. Sorry, man, you kind of lost this one.
You're out. It's your chance. You're done.
Yeah. So I saw that he was getting released, and it's funny because I was actually talking to a coworker of mine about Bobby Kennedy, and I was trying to think of Sirhan, the guy who assassinated him, and I thought of John Hinckley, and I said it by accident. He's like, "No, you're thinking of Sirhan." 45 minutes later, I'm looking at my phone and I see the post that John Hinckley Jr. is going to be released. I'm like, what are the odds of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's an unconditional release, which is surprising.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah. No, you're good to go. I mean, I guess he's had a couple of supervised, I don't know, releases, furloughs, that sort of thing from the mental hospital over the years, but I guess they're just like, yeah, we're not really worried about you anymore.
Is he? He's still a convicted felon, though, right?
No, he was not guilty on all counts by reason of insanity.
So that pretty much means that he could pick up another firearm and try to shoot another president.
I believe that they would probably, based on the mental illness history, probably not go with that. I don't know.
He might fall under the red flag laws.
Yeah, he might fall under red flag kind of stuff.
Yeah, who knows? Turn him in. That's what they call.
And it might be a condition of his. I don't know.
He'll be done. All right. So we all know that we've got a big problem with inflation going on here. It's just I know that it's really, really serious because Snoop Dogg came out and said that his personal blunt roller is not making enough money because of inflation, so he's going to get a raise.
How do you get that job, by the way?
How do you get a raise?
Work for Snoop Dogg.
I seriously, how do you, how
his full-time blunt tenderer person, he's going to make, he makes between $40,000 and $50,000. And so he's going to get an increase. And
He's
doesn't say how much, but
He's a bud tender.
he's bud tender. Yeah,
Yeah.
blunt tender.
Man,
So-
if I was making 50 grand a year, you know how seriously I would take that job?
Yeah.
You'd want to make sure everything was perfect.
I mean, I'm
then,
on the
of course-
clock, bro. Like,
Well,
And you gotta
I
test
am
out
just,
every batch,
Johnny
too.
on the spot.
I wonder.
Oh, right. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there like with like a lab coat on, you know, like those little magnifying glasses at the edge of my nose. And
Offering filtered or non-filtered.
oh, yeah. Oh, every combination therein, holding it out like one of those old cigarette girls from like the
Cigars,
30s.
cigarettes.
Right.
Well, there you go. You got to
Well,
apply for that job.
According to
I travel
Snoop
with like
Dogg-
a portable humidifier.
According to Snoop Dogg, as of 2012, he said he smokes 81 blunts a day.
How does he still have lungs?
Well, okay, so I would imagine that is generally speaking being passed around probably between a lot of people. You know what I mean?
That's
He probably
3 per
has
hour.
81 half a blunts a
Yeah.
day because it just keeps kind of going
He's
around
bogarting
his
it.
that's-
He's letting
crew.
everybody have it.
But that's still, if that, James said, if that's 3 per hour, that means he's always around somebody. That's no downtime. That sounds horrible.
No, yeah,
And that's
that's
not even
that's a full
factoring
time of itself.
Well, look, you know, he's got such a high tolerance for it now. He probably needs that just to get to where he wants to be.
So I saw him in an interview. He said the only person who ever outsmoked him was Willie Nelson. He said it's the only
Yeah.
time he ever pushed the stop button was he was hanging with Willie.
There you go. Let's
Oh, I
say
would have
something
loved
for
to have
old
been a
guys.
fly on the wall during that.
No, you
Well,
wouldn't
Willie
have. You'd be on
managed-
the
Would have been a
floor
really
sleeping.
high fly.
Yay, Willie. That's pretty funny.
Imagine Willie just looking
That's
at him
a lot
like
of
pussy.
Yeah. This kid, he has no idea.
He says he's an
Giving him one
OG.
of the back in my day speeches.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, slacker.
I mean, man, I would need to have like carpal tunnel surgery, like insurance and arthritis, you know, coverage and things like that. I would need to be putting money into a 401k if I was having to roll 80 some odd blunts a day.
Well, yeah, hopefully it lets you use a machine. You know, they don't have to be done by hand.
I don't know, man. Some of those machines are not. But I mean, yeah, you'd probably have to eventually.
You'd have to, and it's Snoop. He can afford the best machines out there, right?
I'm just saying, yeah, we
Probably
got to talk about a
gold-plated.
retirement plan.
No,
you
that's
know,
why he's
'cause-
paying. That roller's got to be amazing because if he's spending 50 grand a year, he's not paying some guy to use a machine. He wants it, you know, like how you
No,
make
right.
how you make Cuban
Okay.
cigars, like on the thighs of
30
virgin type of
years
thing.
That,
The guy's
30
going to come
years
down
of
with
that, I'm going to need to
arthritis.
hire
and
a full-time ass wiper.
Okay. Poor guy's going to have arthritis. Never mind.
Because the arthritis.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you can't keep
Just
it
my
up.
hand permanently like James Coburn, just like,
Yes.
you know, perpetually holding the cigar hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as long as you can get it, in
Timely
that,
reference for you
level up.
kids out there.
as long as it's enough to
Yeah,
hold
look up
a
James
blunt, you're
Coburn.
safe. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So did you guys know that bees are now legally classified as fish?
bees.
What the hell?
So last Tuesday, a California appellate court of 3 judges determined that in order to protect threatened bumblebee species, they are now considered fish under the law.
You are fake news.
Yeah. So that means that it's going to protect them against pesticides and monoculture farming.
Okay, I'm at a legitimate question. Since bees are like any pesticides could just wipe them out, does that mean it eliminates farmers using any sort of pesticides? Is there such thing as bee-safe pesticides? Like,
I'm sure there are bee-safe pesticides, but yeah.
are they going to be using
They're
politicians?
now fish.
Well, it's not the strangest thing I've heard.
Is there a fishing limit on bees? I mean, do you have to buy a
I mean,
do you have to
might
buy
be
a
able to get
fishing license to
for
harvest a
bees.
bee?
Yeah.
I mean, I got to catch my bees from my hive so I could get enough honey. So
I'm just trying to figure out what this really means for the.
There's a loophole in it, so it just got to be protected under pesticides and whatever the fuck monocultural farm is.
I'm all for protecting bees. I mean, they're having a real tough time right now, and we need them, and the farmers need them. So the farmers are not interested in destroying bees. So
I'm just wondering what kind of protections they're actually talking about. Like you can't take out like a bee's nest or something like that, or beehive. That's the word I was looking for.
Is there a catch and release for bees?
Okay.
Right.
So monoculture farming is when you only grow one crop at a time in a specific field. So I guess they're trying to stop them from pollinating. So that's probably why they're doing that. I don't really understand.
I see. Okay, because they're trying to keep one crop and not use the topsoil nutrients or other stuff other than that one crop, and so they're trying to keep the bees away.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Any of you guys have Geico insurance?
No.
No.
Well, maybe this headline will make you change your mind. So, Geico must pay $5.2 million to a woman who got HPV from sex in a man's insured car. Court rules.
Wow.
Geico must pay a Montessori woman $5.2 million after she caught HPV from unprotected sex with her then boyfriend in his insured automobile. A state appellate court ruled.
Wow. That's some fuzzy logic. Hilarious.
Man, that whoever argued
I swear
that
the wheels have fallen off.
Be famous.
So do you think if Geico didn't drop the guy, do you think Geico's just going to send him condoms every time he pays his dues?
Dude, can you imagine that lawyer in a bar? I'm trying to picture that lawyer in a bar talking to like all of his lawyer friends, and everyone's telling like, oh yeah, I once got this guy off a murder case because of this reason, and oh yeah, well I once got this guy out of a DUI because of this, and the guy just drops his giant law dick on the table and tells that story and drops the mic, walks away.
Yeah, I
like,
just got $5 million for
Yeah.
for this lady. Yeah. Now trying to keep up with that one.
I'd buy that for $1.
Whatever the argument was, I mean, is going to be the precedent set by that is scary.
Yeah, it's a state's appellate court too, so it's going to have to go to their circuit up to their appeals to circuit courts to see if it's going to hold. It's very interesting. That's going to be a.
That was a very great point, Ryan.
Whack.
So
what's that?
I have no idea what the fuck you said because it just like started like cutting out.
So right now is a perfect.
Your last minute was like nothing.
So right now is a perfect time for an ad spot.
Was that my cue?
Yes.
Today's show is brought to you by Audacity. The game word dignity is overrated. Go to ODDASSITY.com. That's ODDASSITY.com. Pick up a card game from this website or selected stores. That's Audacity, the unforgettable party game for mischievous people.
And do me a favor, don't forget to use MadTrio, all caps, all one word, for 10% off your final purchase. Make sure you tell the Audacity that the MadTrio sent you.
It's awesome how your voice quality got better during that ad.
I know. I mean, that's
some good announcer skills right there.
I know there was no coughing either.
It's short. It's short breaks.
It only took 30 takes to get that one.
Yeah. Oh, so my favorite.
Later, take 45. Like,
my
I need
favorite.
to see a highlight reel of the outtakes.
No, it'd be dull. My favorite dig of the week is from The Verge. Ford surprises F-150 Lightning owners with accessories that can recharge stranded Teslas. So the F-150 Lightning, instead of being a super truck, is their electric truck.
That's funny.
That's nice.
I thought that was hilarious. So a member of an
Forethought.
online forum for the new F-150 Lightning owner shared a photo of a new accessory, the J1772 adapter for Tesla vehicles by EV charging company called Lentz. That's Lentz. The owner was surprised because the adapter was not listed among the standard accessories that would be provided with a new truck. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Thank
pretty
God,
hilarious.
And then Ford, going to go a little more with Ford. Ford present on when EVs could be available in the $25,000 price range. Ford wants to produce 2 million EVs a year globally by the end of 2026. Ford President Kumar Galhotra provided insight when the $25,000 price point for an electric vehicle would be available, and consumers explained what is needed to achieve the goal. He said later this decade, all of us would have to install sufficient capacity for electric vehicles, and technology costs would be come down, battery costs would be coming down, he explained. What most of these people don't talk about is how infrastructure is going to support that many people plugging in their vehicles.
Well, that's the thing is partly infrastructure and partly battery technology. Battery technology is incredibly incremental. It does not, there's no leap, there's no eureka moment when it comes to batteries, unfortunately. So we are really at the mercy of grid storage and how good batteries are. You know, and we're reaching the limit of what we can do with lithium ion. So, I mean, the amount of people that are trying to figure out batteries, it's always one of those like science articles. Oh, in 5 to 10 years, which 5 to 10 years means you don't hold your breath.
Hey, don't forget, in the old guys, and when old guy was a kid, they promised flying cars and robots when he'd be his age. And that didn't happen.
Yeah,
Got him.
Well,
We got him. We got him.
Yeah,
We
they
have
got
robots.
that one and that one flying car thing.
Hey, they're flying cars
What
out
do they
there.
call that? No, they called it something after the Jetsons. It might be called the Jetson. No, I'm serious. It's like a little quadcopter, little pod thing.
Just
They
what
only
you
do
want.
about-
So instead of falling off and hitting the ground, you fall off and land in tiny chunks.
Your CEO, Jim Farr,
Well, I mean,
said
dude,
he could see
you look up the
EVs
videos of it, man. I would fly that shit right now.
You know
I
what?
mean, I'm also an idiot, but still.
After driving a Can-Am Spider and how dangerous that is because of everybody staring at your ass and trying to run you over, I'm not sure if I'm willing to fly in a quadcopter. Do you imagine all those planes going, dude, take a look, quink?
Well, you know what
I mean,
gets
that's the
me?
thing is being the only guy in the air is nice.
You're all
When
right,
it turns
yeah.
into Jetsons, that's a problem.
So can you imagine how loud that quadcopter
no
car
shit.
must be? I mean, I know how loud my drone is. Just
Yeah,
the drone,
for
little
sure.
drone itself. It just, it sounds like
Yeah.
10,000 beats.
No,
It's
really.
like,
For those
come
of you
on,
who
I can't
never
imagine.
been in person around a drone, those things are freakishly loud.
Yeah.
I
Incredibly
love on how all those nature videos where they're using them to capture all that amazing footage, they somehow don't include the 1,000 decibel drone sound.
Yeah,
That's
no
right.
kidding. Yeah, let's just say the Jetson ad that was posted, the couple of videos, didn't exactly have a lot of sound.
No,
shocking.
Might have been some
From what I saw,
soothing
no
music
sound.
being played instead.
You can see the National Geographic stories, and now we have to be quiet because Bambi gets scared easily. That's one of those things.
In the video, it only looked like the guy was about maybe 20, 25 feet off the ground. More of an average of like 10 to 15, I'd say, but looked like he was moving pretty good, 35, 40, 50, somewhere in that. But
He probably couldn't legally go higher because the FAA.
oh no, for sure, there's definitely like a limit with those things.
You imagine having flying cars the way people drive nowadays? I couldn't imagine how screwed up it would be. All of a sudden you have a lot of people passing their FAA license test like they do the driver's test. People eating and flying, or, well, pilots already drink and fly.
Yeah, and apparently any smart person that's ever been asked about flying cars had that same response. Like, what are you shitting me? Like, do you want to have just as dangerous shit, but you're at
Up in the air.
falling to your death height?
So
They have to have
I've
those ballistic
come on.
parachute things.
I've commuted for a giant chunk of my life, and the crazy shit I've seen. I followed a lady for a while on the freeway behind her because I was watching her getting dressed as she was driving, and I was trying to stay behind her so I wouldn't die. I've seen people do selfies in the car, the hands off the wheel. It's like, it's crazy.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's bad enough. Having flown a small airplane a little bit, and been around some of the crazy stuff that private pilots do already. Makes me do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already thinking a little bit that maybe we need to think this a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's nice when there's not that many people in the sky, when you've got pretty clear air traffic and all that kind of stuff. You know, especially for like little sport aircraft or things like that, little single engine stuff. I mean, there are still a shocking amount of people who don't take it as seriously as you would want them to or expect them to.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just waiting for the floating Burma shave ads. You know, like they have in Back to the Future.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So, Rob Zombie finally released a teaser trailer for the Munsters.
Oh,
Rob Zombie's doing the Munsters?
Oh,
Yeah.
Where were you the last show we talked about that?
I don't
maybe
know.
you weren't here. Maybe you were doing your other life. Yeah, he's doing the Munsters.
I'm shocked you didn't know that because I've been waiting for this trailer to come out because I was such a huge mark for the Munsters as a kid.
Now we'll have to go.
I'd forgotten.
Let's go out and everybody go click on that trailer so we can tell people if it's any good or not. All at once, all three of us. No, never mind. That was in jest, guys. For you, John, that means I'm joking.
Oh, okay. Well, EU wasn't joking when they forced Apple to change the lightning cord. All smartphones and tablets will have to use a common charger under provisional European Union agreement clinched on Tuesday. The plan would force all companies, most notably Apple Incorporated, to make phones, tablets, e-readers, digital cameras, etc. to use the USB-C charger. Negotiations announced around 15 product types are included to scope, including headset, video games, console, and headphones.
Man, I'm so damn down with that.
The only,
Let's regulate the amount of damn chargers I have.
Chargers. So EU was talking about that. The problem was what came about from what I was reading is partly to do with the fact that there are so many, as you're saying, Ryan, so many different types of plugs and designs and voltage chargers and all that. They're all ending up in the landfill, and there's no real easy way to recycle those things. And they're saying, hey, if we make everything the same, all the same across the board, people won't be throwing them away in the numbers they're throwing away now.
Yeah.
And I know for my fact, I kept taking all these chargers and all these cords and everything, and I kept throwing them in a bin. And when that bin got to be about 60 pounds, I'd go throw it out. I mean, it got to be ridiculous. And so
unless
I totally understand.
Unless you're going to be one of those hobbyists that like strips down the wire and like melts it into its, base components. And
yeah, exactly. No, it makes a lot of sense to me.
Phone and tablet makers will comply by the fall of 2024. Laptops will have more time to make a switch. Negotiations giving laptop producer more than 40 months after new rules go into effect. My question is this stuck onto a version? Like there's USB 1, 1.1, 2, 3. So it's how landlocked into it is it? Because if there's a better version of USB-C in the future that's not exactly down compatible.
As long as it's got the same, maybe the same cables, but the same format, I think is just the thing.
Well,
even if it, you buy a slightly better one in the future, those little incremental changes. But
one of the issues is sometimes a newer version of the same cable, like say it's USB-C 5, but some USB 5 is not compatible with USB-C 4 type of thing. Like, are they landlocked into it? Or is it, USB?
So you bring up a good argument to the whole thing is that where does technology fall in line with this? Because you're right. As technology has grown further, we've gotten more efficient with the chargers, and there's magnetic charging, which is okay to a degree and not as fast as cord charging or as reliable. But as it goes on, then what is the EU?
Well, and the things do become obsolete, not just for trying to oust the other guy or have your proprietary cables, but because the technology demands, that, hey, I can't run it on this thing anymore because this doesn't have the same, output capacity that this new thing we have to develop is. And then is that going to force all these separate companies to develop along the same lines of that. Like if I come up with a better computer, but I realize I need a new type of charger to do it, do I then have to give that technology to other companies so they can keep up and we all have the same cord?
There's
that's
another
a good argument.
There's another question: is Apple is allegedly reporting at some point in the future want to get rid of the charging port completely and just have it wireless charging. Would that also eliminate that? Which, by the way,
Sure.
I hate the idea, but
Dude, I
I
have
don't
like 3 wireless chargers I just set my phone down on. I fucking love those things.
I've had one and I broke it.
I have a love-hate relationship with those because I have a magnetic mount for my car.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of these
Yeah,
magnetic mounts and on my desk and things like that. Well, I can't magnetically charge with this ring mounted on my phone. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it won't work. So
Yeah,
anyway,
the ones I have in my car are like little clamp things. I just kind of touch it to the back and it just kind of matches the sides. That's always
There's an aftermarket product I really want to try that actually lets you add that capability to any piece of furniture. Basically, you screw it to the bottom of whatever you want to put it on, and allegedly it's supposed to charge through the table or whatever you attach it to that I want to try.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the argument we're talking about. That the EU has stated, we want to go with a standard, but as standards change, I mean, even Apple has changed from, if you remember the big iPad chargers that they used to have,
for sure,
to this lightning cable charger, which for me has worked very well. But I've heard other people say, "Hey, I've broken mine so easily, and then it's stuck in the port," and there's been numerous issues with that charger, and so, you can't make everybody happy, but it's interesting when a whole country-ish, like the European Union, all the groups that are in there come in and say, no, you've got to apply to this now. It does kind of stifle some things.
I mean, possibly, but I mean, one could look at it like you have to make light bulbs. If you're a light bulb manufacturer,
Exactly.
and there's a lot of them, you've got to make those to fit light sockets.
Right.
And in theory,
and I agree with that. I mean, I understand where you're coming, and you're right. It is a standard that they're still getting to. But of course, going from incandescent to LED, none of these countries have had to get, or the manufacturers have had to get very specific on how they deal with the voltage changes and little computers. And, actually, what people don't know is you look at these LEDs and they actually have a little circuit board inside there to be able to control the voltage. And so does that mean that
Who
LEDs...
else misses incandescence?
Not me. I'm so happy not to have to change another light bulb.
I mean, there was that. Those things last forever.
Yep. I wonder if there's still, if you remember, I want to say it was an original Edison bulb back in the 1910, somewhere early 1900s. It was burning.
Yeah, definitely remember that.
Yeah, it was burning in a fire station somewhere in New York.
Oh yeah, I know exactly
burning,
what you're talking about.
Right, it's been burning ever since. They've never changed that bulb.
And it's the dimmest bulb of all time, but it's like, no, this has been on for like 120 years or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever. It's been phenomenal, and it was one of the original bulbs, I guess, were the really thick filaments that they were first using in there, and I guess it's held up forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that wasn't like the firehouse of like the I don't know, Massachusetts or some old ass place or something.
Yeah. It was either New York or it was, like you said, maybe it was Boston. Maybe, I don't know. It's one of those places.
In the United States, the average incandescent bulb, that is a bulb heated with a wire filament, has a lifespan about 1,000 to 2,000 hours. But dangling from the ceiling of a California firehouse is a bulb that has burned nearly 989,000 hours, nearly 113 years since its first installation in 1901. It has rarely been turned off, has outlived every firefighter from the area, and has proclaimed to be the eternal light by General Electric experts and physicists around the world.
Wow.
That's madness.
Yeah, that's incredible. So
they don't make them like they used to.
Wait a minute. We had electricity in California and when?
Lead poisoning, but whatever.
1901, but there's parts of modern day California that doesn't have electricity when the wind blows a certain direction.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, anyway, so
sorry, I was going to rant.
We're running out of time.
I did want to cut you off. That was my signal to Jonathan.
I did want to say a few things. Netflix apparently is working on a new reboot of the Ghostbusters animated series, along with apparently Netflix buying Roku.
Netflix is going to buy Roku.
That's what I read earlier today. I thought that was interesting because Netflix apparently is having issues. So anybody else have any final?
What's that supposed to gain them?
That's what I was wondering.
What's it going to?
A Netflix box? I don't know. It kind of seems back in time, to be honest. I'm not quite sure what their vision of the future is.
Or is it just the types of titles they have access to or something?
Yeah, so now all of a sudden the library is going to be dependent on what device you're streaming with. That's going to be a drag.
Or they just incorporate, hey, everything that you can find on Roku is now here. I think they had like all the apps, Comedy Central. Maybe that's what they're planning is they just add the ability to add apps to Netflix, like, hey, you can now watch HBO or Comedy Central or Adult
great.
Swim.
It's Amazon Prime Video, just what I want.
I mean, you know what I mean? Shit, really.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, no, I have nothing left. I've said it all. I have a listicle that we didn't do tonight, but we'll do it next week.
Sorry, Melanie, my bad.
Yeah.
So, James, any final comments?
No, I'm good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for the California Pariah, the fat man, the old guy, as always. And, Ryan Preston, since he miraculously showed up out of the ethereal, as always. Thank you for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.